our late President Johnson was giving a speech about 25, maybe 30 years ago on the health of the nation. He never read the speech before, and he almost fell over when he was now announcing to the world what he thought was going to be a bragging event. It turned to be out a very shameful declaration how sick we Americans were. 65%, that means 65 people out of 100 were sick with medically dependent disease, not like a cold or a headache. This required severe intervention, and they thought that it was going to be a disease of maintenance with medical assistance. You might be able to live with that disease for many years and make lots of money for the doctors. And 25% of the children were suffering likewise of old age diseases, cancer, arthritis, rheumatism, diabetes. That was very shocking. We were 42nd in anticipated longevity after the age of 40. So he said, the president, to the Surgeon General report, go out, take no restrictions, explore everything, and find out why we are such a sick nation. They came back around 10 years later with a very thick report. It was about 3 times thicker than my book, about 1,000 pages. And in it, so that you don't miss the most important issues, in the beginning, the holistic model was introduced to United States as well as the world. I thought it was old stuff among the alternative medical community, among the yogic community, among the Ayurvedic community, among the vegan community. But it was new stuff for the mainstream. And that set the theme for the future. And that was, as far as wellness and health, do not anticipate any help from your doctors or your hospitals or any scientific breakthrough. The whole issue of wellness and health resides in 5 basic principles that are totally within your control. And all of them are important. And if you neglect one, it will destroy you eventually. So they are all important. They cannot be neglected. And in summary, I will state them, and then we will go into details. One is diet. And I say, take the dye out of the diet, which is a good direction to go. That means go live food. But we will talk a little more. Karen gave you a great presentation of the way of managing your transition into ever superior state by playing with detoxification, continued nutritional improvements, as well as many of the other modalities. The second was exercise. The third one was rest. And the fourth one was your attitude. And the fifth was environment. Let us take a look at each one and try to see both from our clinical experience, such as Hippocrates and many other similar centers around the world, which currently they are found in every country in the world, live food centers, even though it might be at some places just a restaurant and a meetup group like Raw, 42nd Street, and others that I'm not aware of in Lithuania. Diet has been looked at anything that enables you, according to traditional nutritionists, to enable you to live through the day is considered adequate nutrition, provided two things are met, they said. One is, does it provide enough energy for you to participate in your JOB world, just above broke? Two, will you be able to produce children on this diet? Well, what has happened? Every generation since introduction of the canning, the freezing, and the processed foods, every generation was becoming more and more tired. And we have a nation where right now the food is not supplying the energy. Matter of fact, the food that people are eating is the #1 reason for the fatigue. And what we have is the dependence on all kind of alkaloids, namely coffee, cigarettes, they're all stimulants, cocaine, marijuana, LSD, psychotropic drugs that are coming out of our medical community, which are causing more harm than the street drugs. We have now on our television shows weekly programs just on medical drug addiction and how they are killing off people. We even got into a funny situation on our television where practically every other commercial is for some form of medication, and after they tell you about the potential benefits of the medicine, then they'll give you another 30 potential dangers associated with this medicine. It's like playing roulette. And why this medicine comes about? Because the other commercials are trying to get you to eat food that will quickly accelerate not only the aging process, but also move you into clientele for the medical community. They work hand in hand, as Brian so brightly brought out about how the fast food, processed food industry inoculates every one of their products with something that has a unique addictive component.